Just about done with these opening ceremonies, these opening festivities, as we are moments away as Ozzy Osbourne kicks on this crazy train of a 60-minute game. Minnesota, well, they're wearing that infamous gold and maroon, gold tops with maroon and white trim, maroon breezers, and gold socks with the same striping trim accents. Wisconsin Rapids, Old Glory, red, white, and blue top, blue breezers, and the Old Glory red, white, and blue socks, as we are just moments away. Minnesota going from my right to the left, and Rapids going from my left to the right. Clean sheet of ice, and we are underway. Face off, and it's controlled by Rapids as they skate back into their defensive end. A little bit of contact at mid-ice. Noah Diamond takes the puck back behind the boards, round the boards, up to Mikhail Ilian. Gets turned back away by the Mullets, as I believe that was Mason Henham on that decision there. As puck comes up, held in at the neutral at the blue line. Ilian skating in, trying to get a backhand attempt. He gets pushed wide as Mattingly hugs the far post. Back behind the goal, sends out front. Bolduc, he misses his pass going to Ruffalo as puck goes behind the goal. Down goes. Good hit on Monson as Rapids holds his own. Ilian skating far side, shot sent in, round the boards. Not going to be holded into the zone as Bolduc has it. Skates in, walks in, gets around a defenseman. Shot, point blank, turned away by Mattingly. We'll have to get our statistician on that and find out if he's related to Don Mattingly, old MLB coach many moon ago. Still in the game, I believe, as Mullets take the puck into the far corner. Squirts out towards the blue line, backhanded back towards the Rapids goal. Rapids playing a little bit of a physical forecheck as Ilian hits Watruba up against the boards. Puck trying to get out of the zone, and it does, where the Mullets have to get back to it. Ian Wallace, I believe, was there. Send it up to By, where Murphy picks it up back over to Kutzer. Puck sent around behind the Rapids goal. Minnesota doing a good job keeping possession deep into the Rapids zone early on. And now Rapids grabs some possession, flips it up neutral ice. Korobenkikov goes to pick up the puck, gets down right in front of the beer garden. A good crowd on hand tonight, as it's been a couple weeks since they've seen their Riverkings squad. Puck center on the boards. Hits Stanchion. Comes in on goalie Mattingly. Held into the zone. Shot, bouncing puck just wide of the near post. As Rapids now starting to add a little bit of pressure to things. 17:42 left to go, first period. Nice little push on the puck on the far corner as Newman tries to send the puck back out. He does. Rapids will have to regroup. Xavier Alexander chipped up ahead. Brought in by Allstrand. Allstrand has slime on the brakes and comes back near side where the Mullets break out. Johnson flips it deep into the zone. No line changes as Rapids has to pursue the puck down deep. Bolduc pinned one way, going back the other, flips up ahead to Aiden Welsh. Wisconsin Rapids native. Rapids now looking for the avenue to go with the puck. Loose out neutral ice. A little bit slower pace than what we saw the last couple weeks that we were able to witness the game here as Welsh breaks it up into the zone. Flanked by Williams. Shot turned away behind the goal. Welsh is still with it as Taylor gets puck picked away, sent back around, and now it's picked back up by the Mullets as they try to break out of the zone. They do, with trying to get a quick line change. Puck sent all around the boards as Rapids gets a line change. 16 and a half to go. First period, no score between the Mullets and the Riverkings. Puck shot in, redirected, I believe. Couldn't get a hand on it or a glove on it. Was Mattingly behind the goal. Pass to Ilian in the slot. He couldn't get a clean shot off as he gets tied up in a corner. Physicality starting to pick up, and there will be a penalty called against Rapids as off goes Mattingly and back down the edge of the ice goes the puck, and now there's the whistle, as there will be a trip coming up against Wisconsin Rapids. As in the box goes Mikhail Ilian. So the Mullets get their first power play of the game, as that will come at 4:01. So we'll see what Rapids can do on the power play, or excuse me, the penalty kill, as that tripping penalty was against Ilian. So we'll see what Rapids does. Shot from the circle gets turned away by Shaw. Sent in, redirect. That gets redirected wide as Rapids trying to clear the zone, and they do, as there will be a little bit of a rush there from Diamond, giving a little bit of pressure on this opportunity to kill off the penalty. Allstrand and Diamond out there applying pressure. Puck bounces up against the far boards. Allstrand sends it all the way down, back of the goal where Mattingly plays it. Minute 20 left on skater advantage for the Mullets. No score here in Wisconsin Rapids, but 15-15 to go. Shot, backhand opportunity there. That was a solid chance. Sent in by the Mullets. And the puck comes all the way down where the Mullets have to regroup. Coming all the way down. And the Mullets, physical hit. Brought on by Buldick. And he lifts the puck up neutral ice, and there's a 1-1 situation if Rapids can get possession of the puck. They do not, as Mullets have to regroup. 45 seconds left on the power play for Minnesota. 14:40 left to go in the first period. No score. Knights young, as Minnesota trying to hold the zone. Real aggressive forecheck on this penalty kill opportunity for Rapids, and now they have a chance to break out here. Olivier Buldick gets around defenseman, goes right in front of the beer garden. As I look at it, gets pushed off the puck. 20 seconds to go on the power play for Minnesota. Newman chips the puck back up, where Jonathan Yaksoy comes up, sends it all the way down, and that will do it for the power play. 5 seconds to go, so that was a good kill for the Riverkings, as teams are both at full strength. Korbenkov grabs loose puck at his blue line. He's looking for somewhere to pass to it, gets pushed off the puck. As Allstrand's there, turns around, walks in, shot to goal! There's a hole in your goalie, Minnesota, and Wisconsin Rapids takes a 1-0 lead. You can kind of see the way that was forming up, as picked up the puck, pulled the puck away at the circle, the far side circle, walks in, bottom of the circle, shot, and that just goes sliding right through the goal line into the back of the net. And Rapids is in business over the Mullets, with time of the goal coming up in a moment once we get the full assist. No. 10th goal of the year is Allstrand, with no assist on it. 6:16 time of the goal. So, Colin, that's a good way to start the game.
Yeah, definitely better than a couple of other past starts.
That's right. We talked a little bit about that. Rapids having some slow starts last few games. They're starting all right now, but still a lot of game to be played as the puck goes out of play. There will be a face-off coming to the glove side of Mattingly. Yaksoy in on that. Rapids controls it, and they blow a whistle. Trying to get, they didn't like the pair they had in there, so Allstrand's in there now. Yaksoy's out. Picked up by Korbenkov. Picks up the puck, sends it back down around the goal. Allstrand wasn't there. Chevy Alexander trying to get there. As Minnesota controls the puck. Now a little bit of a collision on the far side. Down goes Minnesota player. Oh, no funny business involved as puck bounces in behind the goal. Allstrand look for somewhere to go with it. Gets hit behind the cage. Minnesota player falls on the puck. Nothing malicious about that. As puck goes all the way around, Yaksoy sent it around. There's now a collision behind, or Bankakov was there. Joey Alexander sends it back around. Nobody in the corner. It's going to be a little bit of a race to who can get there first. 12:40 left to go in the first period. Picking the puck up is Finley Newman as he tries to send it back down as there's a touch up. And there will be a cross check coming up against Wisconsin Rapids. As going is Bankakov. Not the start you want to have if you're Rapids in terms of penalties, which has kind of been a problem from time to time this year. Correct calling. So cross check. Face off to the blocker side of Shaw. 7:28 time of the penalty. So second power play opportunity for Minnesota. Trying to get a 50% average on theirs. There's a race for the puck. Ruffalo trying to get to it. Loose puck picked up now. Diamond skating in, getting around the defense. Backhand. Bouncing puck. Bouncing around, and it's covered. It sat there between the pads of Mattingly. Sat there and just couldn't push her back. That's a little bit of a frustrating situation as an attacking player, Colin. That was set up perfectly for the rebound opportunity. Just sometimes hard to get the puck there, isn't it?
Yep.
As puck face-off found out. Rapids picks it up. Diamond onside. Try to get around a defenseman. Could not get there. As puck held up on the far boards. Minnesota does break out with it. By Jacob Smith. He gets pushed off the puck. Puck goes behind the Rapids goal line. But behind the goal as well as Diamond picks up the puck. No flankers as Rapids goes for a line change. Diamond smartly holds up as gets his line mates out there, not trying to do it himself, as Rapids has 1 minute left to kill the power play. And they just took up a few more seconds of it. Rapids out shooting Minnesota 6-1 and leading 1-0 with 11:20 left to go in the opening period of action in this two-game series. Minnesota trying to get something flowing here as the puck goes right in front of the Rapids bench. Shaw doesn't have to play the puck, lets it go by. Rapids sends her all the way down. 30 seconds to go. Mattingly plays that real bravely with the blade of his stick right in front of his goal. I've seen weird things happen. I've seen some squirt through like that. So thankfully for him, it didn't. His puck comes up neutral ice. 20 seconds left to go on the skater advantage for Minnesota. Puck squirts loose. Johnson sends it back to Henham. On the far side, sends it around the boards. 10 seconds to go on the skater advantage. Minnesota on the verge of going 0 for 2, and they are about to. Ilian picks up the puck, skates in the zone. Can't quite hold on to the puck as he brought it across his body as both teams are at full strength. Rapids has to regroup. Ilian sends a shot in right in the glove for Mattingly. Stop of the play coming up. 10:27 to go. First period. 1-0 lead, Wisconsin Rapids. There will be a face-off coming up. This side to the glove side, the left side of Mattingly. Allstrand up against Will Bitnick. Shot from the slot. Williams and gobbled up there by Mattingly. So he's getting a lot of work early, which Colin, that's kind of the MO for Rapids is fire pucks on net and see what happens.
Gotta fire them.
Face off. Controlled by Rapids. Korneve can't hold the zone. Rapids will have to regroup, or Minnesota can continue an attack. Puck comes in the Rapids defensive zone. That was picked up by Trebo. This puck comes back out neutral ice. By has it. Held at neutral ice by Rapids. Welsh sends it down as there was a hand pass being whistled. So we got another stoppage, a little bit of pushing and shoving in front of the Minnesota bench as they get a line change. Over halfway home in this first period, 9:59 to go. Rapids up 1-0 as they are negotiating where they want to have the face-off, which will be more on the Rapids end of the sheet of ice, still at neutral ice, just outside their blue line. Face-off controlled by Rapids. Higgins goes far side. Backhands it into the zone. Everybody chasing her down. Minnesota trying to get the flow going the other way. Break out of their zone. But he's met by 4 Riverkings who aren't getting to let him do much. Williams Pass from Trebo. Tried to center it. That got deflected high and into the boards. Puck comes back out, far side. Now it looks like a 1-1 opportunity as Newman goes up against Chevy Alexander. Newman got pushed, lost handle of the puck, got hit hard behind the goal. Now it's being brought up by the Riverkings. Rapids 2 for 2 on killing the power play. Minnesota 0 for 1 on the skater advantage. About 9-10 left to go as Minnesota takes a shot, turned away by Shaw as Rapids sends it around the boards. Comes back out neutral ice, and there's going to be a nice little opportunity for Rapids here if they can get a shot off. Shot to go! Rapids goes up 2-0 on the rush, and that would be Mateo Ruffalo lighting the lamp with 8:57 left to go in the frame. 11:03 by my count on the clock. Rapids now up. They're going to say goal from Ruffalo. And I think they're going to say the assist from 7, if I overheard that correctly. So Ilion 2 points, if that does stand, as Rapids already up 2-0. And Ruffalo already on the attack again. 6th of the year. Mateo Ruffalo, he's lighting the lamp there. But a nice addition for the Riverkings. And Mikhail Ilion with the assist. As beautiful tic-tac-toe and a nice save by Mattingly. He saw that coming. Get a little more muscle, who knows? But boy, that was set up perfectly at 11:03, that time of the goal. Ilion with the goal. So Ilion with the goal, with the assist, excuse me. Ruffalo with the goal. Allstrand with the unassisted goal. I misspoke saying Ilion had 2. My apologies there. Puck sent down, 1 on the face-off, the blocker side. Mattingly, Rapids with the puck behind the goal. Ilion shot, he pulled the trigger just a little bit wide. Rapids still send the puck down low. But Ruffalo sends it back where it came from. Ilion playing physical puck out there, tied up in the corner. Puck comes loose. Ruffalo sends it out, held in at the blue line by Duke, sent around through. Duke holds it through. Duke sent through, and it got turned away by the defense. And now there's an opportunity for Duke to try to play some defense, and he did. Push the puck to the side as Minnesota trying to break out on a goal if they could. 2-2 rush here for Rapids. Nelson and Diamond. Diamond skates in, gets around defense, shot. Slipped off the blade of his stick if you're a Rapids fan. That was a little lackluster on that, as down goes a Minnesota player, and there's another penalty coming for Wisconsin Rapids. That was away from the play. Not something that Coach Paul will be overly thrilled with, as that's the second one on Korobenkikov. There'll be 12:24 time of the penalty. That Colin, that's really not what you want to do, but keep putting yourself behind to have to play a skater down.
No, not at all. Even though we're up 2-0, it doesn't give us the right to take penalties here.
Well, you've been around the game longer than I have. That's the worst lead to have. You've seen it through your career. I've seen it through my broadcasting career. That's a tough one, that you keep going to the well too much. That 2-goal lead doesn't mean much, as there's going to be a little bit of a delay waiting for the correct numbers to be put up on the board. 7:36 left to go in the period. First period, Rapids up 2-0, but they're going on the penalty kill for it's a 4-minute. Ooh, boy. That was a little worse than I thought it was going to be. But, Rapids going to have to dig themselves out of this one as the puck comes back out neutral ice.
2-minute minor for unsportsmanlike.
2-minute minor for 2-minute minor for trip, and 2 minutes for unsports. Till 24, time of both infractions. So 4 minutes of kill have come up here. As Rapids, they're behind the 8 ball yet again. Skating into the zone is Minnesota. Camden Murphy brought the puck back down as Kinsella skates, look for somewhere to go with it. Brought across the ice. Shot brought into the slot, and it's turned away. Defense got there first. About 3:10 remaining on the skater advantage for Minnesota. As Rapids are holding the lead on the scoreboard, and they're also holding the lead in penalty minutes too, if that's a stat you don't want to have. Jack Zoe picks up the puck, loose puck, neutral ice, skating in, sending on the doorstep, almost slamming it home with Chevy Alexander. Boy, that was close. A shorthanded goal would have been huge there. As Jack Zoe comes back through, skating around in the slot, shot, bouncing puck, gets kicked back out of there. Chevy Alexander skates in, shot, that got deflected down the doorstep. Minnesota now picking it up. Casanelli sends a shot in. That's gloved by Shaw. Dropped right for Chevy Alexander. Skating, lifting it up, and sending her down into the defensive end of Minnesota. As 5:57 left to go in the period. 2:19, so Rapids has effectively killed nearly half of the 4-minute power play, as Minnesota has not been able to establish much of anything offensively, which is a tip of the cap to Rapids to this point on their PK session. As 2 minutes remain, 1 penalty's killed off. Puck comes loose through the slot. Diamond picks it up, 2-on-1. Now it's 2-2. Diamond skates in, slams on the brakes, sends it back neutral ice, where Nelson and Duke are being able to play a little pass back and forth. Brought her right back down to the defensive end, where they send her all the way down. In on goal, that was a little weird bounce. That seen weird things happen on this sheet of ice over the years. With 1.5 minutes left to go in the back on the double minors. Puck comes back down. Rapid zone, chipped away by Shaws. The puck gets held up by Minnesota, but they try to flip it back out. They do. Diamond, he's trying to hold the puck up neutral ice. Couldn't do it. A little bit of a collision mid-ice. As Nelson skates around and around with 1:10 left on the penalty kill for Rapids. 4:40 left to go as the puck sends all the way around the boards. Rapids just trying to eat up time as we're under 1 minute left on this power play. 4.5 to go in the frame as Struger sends the puck down deep behind the goal, off target, as Duke gets there first. Duke battling, puck comes up, gets in the skates of Fischel. Now Rapids trying to break out here. Couldn't quite get the pass to himself as Ruffalo with 30 seconds to go on the penalty kill. Just about 4 minutes left to go in the first period. Rapids up 2-0 over the Mullets. And this will probably be the last real strong push unless they stop at mid-ice, which they did. As the Mullets trying to send something as Kutzer sends a puck up. Rapids is there. Good collisions, shoulders being lowered. It's under 10 seconds to go, and Rapids, they get out of this one again. And effectively kill off 4 minutes of penalties this time. As both teams are at full strength. Turnover in the defensive zone. Trebo, he couldn't quite hold on to it. It's Minnesota trying to break up. Poke check attempt by Bullock as the puck comes out of play and whistle. 3:24 to go in this first period. Rapids up 2-0. They're holding a 13-3 shot advantage in this frame as there will be a face-off right at mid-ice coming up here. As going for that one was Trebo. Minnesota wins the puck drop. 3:16 to go, first period. Minnesota trying to hold the zone in, and a couple missed whiffs on shot attempts. And now screaming down the ice is Williams. He centers it. No, Minnesota got a skate in there. That was set up perfectly right on the doorstep. And Minnesota goes back the other way, and there will be no icing. Rapids comes up with the puck. Under 3 minutes to go in the first period. Nice poke check there for the Mullets. That was Ryan Groutman. Rapids recovers, back up, flip up into the offensive zone. Welsh waiting, puck gets sent back around. As the puck comes to the blue line, not neutral ice, Rapids gains possession. Puck comes up, hits the netting, So we get a whistle at neutral ice. 2:33 remaining, first period. Rapids up 2-0. Well, you got to say if nothing else, Colin. Rapids penalty kill, doing a good job.
Yep, can't complain.
As well, if you have that many minutes go on, 8 minutes already in the game, haven't given up a goal, but scored 2 of your own, that'll do. That'll do, young man, as face-off at neutral ice, picked up by Rapids. 2.5 to go. Ilian sends it down, picked up by B-A-I on the breakout. Now Minnesota trying to set up their offense. Rapids is there, however, as Rapids not really allowing much for passing lanes, as they're really able to limit what Minnesota wants to do offensively. Ruffalo, Ilian breaking into the zone, trailing by Diamond. Shot that got lifted up and into the loft, way up into the loft. If that was a kick, it was good, but we're not playing that game as 2:02 remains in the period. There will be a face-off coming Minnesota end, and it will be to the right side, the blocker side of Mattingly. Plenty of games going on this weekend. Plenty of important games being played this weekend, as Minnesota played the Outlaws last night. The Mullets beat the Outlaws last night, so three-game weekend for them. As Rapids is able to put the puck back deep in the zone with about 1 minute and 50 seconds left in the frame. Shot from the slot from Bolduc. That got turned around by the defense after a turnover deep in the zone. Shot that nearly got redirected in by Ilian, but it went wide. Rapids doing a good job keeping the puck down deep. 1.5 minutes to go. Turnover, and that's shot just wide by Ruffalo. Big turnover right on the doorstep. Minnesota, man, they're playing with fire there with that turnover. Puck comes out to the blue line, held in by Chevy Alexander. Drop pass to Bolduc. Bolduc skates in. He's going to go around, sends it up ahead. The avenue to go with it. Held into the zone, bouncing puck that goes right in front of the beer garden. With 1 minute to play, first period. Rapids up 2-0. As Ilian just sends it back down. As Bolduc plays physical, near a turnover, and there is a turnover right front of the grease, but held in by Chevy Alexander. Rapids still peppering goal, just can't get anything through. Bouncing puck sent in by Yaksoy, and that's finally covered by Mattingly. 36.8 remaining in this first period. Rapids up 2-0, 14-3 shot advantage for the Riverkings, as we nearly can put a bow on this first period. Face-off coming to the blocker side of Mattingly. Duke sends a puck around the boards. Allstrand there, drop pass back down to Korbankov, out front to Duke. Duke sends a shot, that's turned away by the defense with 23 seconds to go. Minnesota trying to get something going here in the waning moments. Truba, one of the leading point getters on Minnesota, comes into the zone, sends it back out in front. Nobody there. Minnesota holds the zone before Rapids picks it up with 6 seconds to go, trying to get a full head of steam, and he can't. There will be about all she wrote in the period, and 1 second, and there you go. There's the horn, as we've played 20 minutes in this one, where Wisconsin Rapids leads 2-0. We are sitting at a 2-0 advantage for the Riverkings over the Mullets. Rapids out shooting Minnesota 14-3, as Hudson Mattingly has 12 saves on 14 shots faced. Deacon Shaw 3 for 3 so far, as Rapids about the only thing in their playbook that they can really maybe work on, penalties. They've 4 infractions for 8 minutes. So with that, puck has been dropped. We're underway in the second period. A shot turned right away from the slot from Olivier Bolduc. As Rapids in this period flipping ends with I almost said Gophers. The Mullets going from my right to the left, and Minnesota going from my left to the right. Slap shot taken from just inside the blue line by Chevy Alexander, as Rapids still with the puck down deep. Nice chip shot, and puck bouncing, and big saves by Mattingly, keeping the puck out of the net. I don't know how a couple of those didn't go in, as the puck comes back out to the wing. Rapids still holding a lot of pressure on the Mullets. Again, Mullets wearing the kind of a mustard yellow helmet, sweater, and socks with maroon breezers and maroon and white trim. Rapids wearing their blue breezers, but stars and stripes, Old Glory sweaters and socks. So paying homage to Veterans Day weekend, which Veterans Day is Monday. So thank you to all of our veterans out there. Really do appreciate everything you have done for our great nation out there, as Minnesota sends a puck length of the ice. No icing, however. Rapids back on the attack. Just over a minute into the second period, Rapids up 2-0. A quick 3 shots put on goal from the Riverkings. Nothing in the back of the net. However, as Rapids gets on the advantage. Brings down Korbenkikov in the slot, gets his stick tied up a little bit, couldn't fire off a shot. Puck tied up in the corner. And Minnesota, they poke it out of there. As puck gets sent right back down around. As Korbenkikov was there, giving some chase. As puck comes out to the circle, flipped up ahead. Minnesota trying to break out of there. Murphy can't hold on to it, and I don't think that's quite Murphy's law, but he couldn't hold on to it. As Nelson flips up to Allstrand. Allstrand dumps it down in the zone where Jonathan Yaksoy giving chase, tied up in the corner, trying to figure out which way they want to go. Under 18 minutes to go in this second period, excuse me. Rapids up 2-0 over the Mullets. Minnesota trying to gain some possession and break out to neutral ice, which they do. Pass intercepted, intended for Grautman. He still gets there, but Rapids picks up the puck. Rapids not allowing Minnesota to really breathe on offense. They are smothering with the defense, and even when Minnesota's had the skater advantage, it still has looked at many points in time as though it's 5-on-5 hockey, but that's credit to Rapids defense. It's a big collision by Welsh on the far side, as Minnesota's player is down on the ice. That appears to be Zachary Taylor. They said it was a clean hit. There was no whistle immediately as Dressel's getting in the face of Welsh. And Minnesota's player is down. Hopefully he'll be all right, as trainer's coming up. They're addressing that, seeing if there will be anything called. But thankfully the young man got up, Zachary Taylor. Hopefully he'll be all right. And everything they'll be able to see him later on in the game, as he's I won't say woozy, but he's hurting a bit. That was a good hit he got laid out on, but now it's going to be interesting to see how Minnesota responds and how Rapids continues the pace of play. As no penalty is called, but you got to kind of wonder if Minnesota's going to keep an eye on things after that point. Face-off, going to be, well, they were setting up like it was going to be to the glove side of Shaw, but it is now at neutral ice just outside the Rapids end. Trebo against Johnson, face-off, controlled by the Riverkings. Chevy Alexander back to Bolduc, up ahead to Welsh. As Rapids holds his own, Welsh tried to center it, nobody home. Welsh still can't hold on to it. Minnesota's able to clear it out. Rapids sends it around the boards. That bounces up into the netting. Another whistle. 16:54 to go in the second period. Rapids holds a 2-0 advantage. Minnesota getting a line change. Puck, another face-off at neutral ice just outside the Minnesota blue line. As Trebo battles up against Metnick, and puck gets sent out neutral ice, and that was a little bit of a rush for it. Chevy Alexander pushes Hibbler off the puck, and Rapids is able to corral it behind their goal. Trying to gain possession. There's a busted stick out on the ice. Minnesota player. That was Will Bitnick. My apologies if I do mispronounce a name. Do the best I can for you. The 16 and a half to go in the second period. Icing against Rapids. Bring the puck all the way back down. And that, I believe, will be to the blocker side, the right side of Deacon Shaw. 17-3 shot advantage, Rapids over Minnesota to this point in the contest. A few other games going on tonight. Saw the Squatch and the Blades in a close one. I think it was Hudson and Northwest taking each other on. That's another good one. So, Havoc are up 4-0 over Hudson. Northwest Express 4-0 over Hudson. Squatch up 2-1 over Steele County. And the Blue Hawks taking care of the Outlaws 7-0. That's how the roundup goes in this North Division as face-off controlled by Minnesota. Kutzer went to take a shot, and that went way wide of the mark. Rapids trying to gain some possession. Boldick sent it around the boards to Trevo. Puck bounces loose. Boldick off the glass, held into the zone on a high stick. And there's a whistle for a high stick. There will be a face-off coming neutral ice. Really disjointed to start the second period, as we got another whistle at 16:01 remaining in this frame. Looking at the standings, Rapids up ahead, leading the division 24 points. The Squatch at 21, Blue Hawks with 20, and Steele County with 13, and the Express with 12. Minnesota, Mullets with 6, the Havoc with 5, and the Outlaws with 2. So everybody's got points. It's just a matter of how many games you've played and how many opportunities you've been able to make good on. And Rapids has done well as they are a perfect record in the North Division. Only 2 losses were in the New Jersey Showcase, as Rapids had the puck down below the Minnesota goal, but can't hold it as Higgins has puck bounce. Diamond sends it right back in. Rapids holding the offensive zone well tonight, as Minnesota having trouble breaking out in the offensive zone regularly. Corneve went up, played the puck. Casanelli sends a shot, blocked by a sliding defenseman, Higgins. And puck sent up to Ruffalo, brings it up, neutral ice by Ilian. Ruffalo and Ilian battling. Now Ilian brings it up into the zone. He gets pushed to the wing. Sent back to Corneve. Corneve up to Ruffalo. Ruffalo skating around looking for a shooting lane. He could not find one. Dumps the puck back behind the goal to Diamond. Diamond skates around. Bump pass back off the boards, and it's skated up to neutral ice by Minnesota. They avoided that one without giving up a shot. As 14:42 remains, there's just some pushing and shoving in front of the Minnesota bench. I think there's a whistle, as there was too many men on the ice, and that little bit of pushing and shoving, as there goes Casanelli into the box. That pushing and shoving right in front of the bench, that take your head out of the game, and that's what happened. Oh, head contact. I thought he gestured for too many men. The head contact, either way. It's 5:27 time of the infraction. And Rapids on the first power play of the game. So Rapids skating around, Boldick high slot, shot, and a goal! Just 19 seconds in, and Rapids gets their third goal of the game on the power play. Colin, that was a beautiful setup there, almost right off the faceoff. As we'll wait for the official scoring to be named, as that was right off the faceoff, kind of the way you want to design it, as just a couple little passes and boom, in the back of the net on a sharp angled shot. on the glove side. And there you have it. So on the power play, 16th goal of the season. Noah Diamond. With Bolduc on the assist.
Time of the power play goal, 5:47.
5:47 on the power play. Just 19 seconds in the skater advantage, and Rapids already attacking again. Puck squirts loose through the crease and back out as Minnesota trying to get a rush. They cannot do it. And here we go. Rapids trying to hold the zone, and they do. Yaksoy from the circle off the blocker of Mattingly into the corner. A little bit of a tangle on the far side of the ice. Both players separate. No problems there. Nelson picks up, pushes the puck away. Duke up ahead. Duke up off a player from Minnesota. Where Williams rushing to the puck. He gets it, sends it back out to the blue line. Good catch there on the stick from Nelson. As Minnesota tries to clear the zone, they are able to. Puck comes up, neutral ice, and that gets sent down. No icing, has to be played by Shaw, as that will be, I guess, the first official shot on goal in the frame for Minnesota. Trebo can't quite hold on to the puck as Bolduc getting bumped around out there. And puck stays at neutral ice right below us. Is sent around the boards from Minnesota, gets stopped at about the blue line. And Rapids sends it down for an icing. 12.5 to go in the second period. Rapids up 3-0, and they hold a 21-4 shot advantage. So Colin, that's got to be the start to the second period that you really want, continuing what you're doing in the first.
Cannot let up one bit.
So Minnesota, we've seen they can be dangerous and they can threaten, as face-off coming to the glove side of Shaw, controlled by Rapids. Nelson behind the goal, up to Welsh, plays the body, puck comes away from him. Drop pass back behind the goal, Bolduc up ahead to Welsh. Welsh coming up, backhand, up to Williams, sends it all the way down. 12:10 to go in the second period. Rapids up 3-0. As puck being battled for and behind the goal. Nobody really coming away with it. Now Minnesota does. They send it up neutral ice. And no icing. Saying come up and play it. Murphy gets there. Chevy Alexander was there first. Williams, he gets hit against the boards. Chevy Alexander gets some good speed. Breaks up into the zone. Gets around defense, and he gets tripped up in the way. And now a whistle as Mattingly shoving Chevy Alexander. He only hits Mattingly because he got tripped going in to take a shot. So there's going to be another penalty coming. As they're calling that against number 33 for the Mullets, as that is Oliver Kutzer. So Kutzer on the tripping penalty. Time of that infraction, 8:22. So Rapids with their second power play attempt or opportunity. Working the puck around already on that faceoff. That was on the glove side of Mattingly. Yaksoy at the point. Centering. Bounced off some skates. Puck still being battled over. Goes behind the goal. Rapids comes away with it. Diamond around to Allstrand. Allstrand at the point. Swapping places with Yaksoy. Allstrand centering. Wide of the mark. Yaksoy's got to hold the zone. Minute and a half left to go on the skater advantage for Rapids. Diamond down low. Drop pass to Allstrand. Diamond down low. Shot off the side of the goal. Saw the water bottle move, so I had to keep an eye on that. Is Diamond looking for somewhere to go for it. Sharp angle shot. Ilian. Nice save there by Mattingly. Heck of a save as he was falling to the ice. He hit it with the shoulder. Yaksoy passing it around. Ilian can't quite hit it home as the puck sent up, picked off by Diamond, up ahead to Allstrand. Allstrand comes around, near side pass to Boldick. Boldick shot, turned away by the defense. Rapids getting opportunities. Whiffing on a shot was Ilian, and he gets sent right down to the ice. Now Minnesota clears it. 40 seconds left to go on the skater advantage. Rapids leading 3-0 on their second power play opportunity of the contest. Puck comes up to neutral ice. Rapids trying to regroup. They do. Ruffalo, he carries it into the zone as he's waiting for numbers to come. He gets hit from behind. That's no call. Pushed off the ice as we're halfway home in this one. As we're under 10 minutes to go in the second period. Rapids up 3-0. 13 seconds to go on the skater advantage. As Rapids not going to get another opportunity on this one as 7 seconds to go. Korobenkikov, the puck pass on up ahead. And 2 and 1, and now Trebo sends a shot in right in the belly of Mattingly. So both teams back to full strength. No goals, but opportunities, and some pretty big saves there by Mattingly. He had a good PK right there. As there was one destined for the back of the net, but he got his shoulder up there at the last second. You could hear that dull thud from those thick shoulder pads, and he did a very good job keeping that out of the back of the net. Rapids with a face-off in the Minnesota zone. That's won by Rapids. Shot picked up by the defense in front, deflected, and Minnesota getting the puck out of the zone. Back up to neutral ice where Rapids gets it. Duke sends it up as Kutzer picks up the loose puck. Trying to hit some nice crisp passes for Minnesota all of a sudden as there's offsides. And the puck comes back out of the zone. 9:14 remaining in the second period. Rapids still holding a 3-0 lead. 25-4 shot advantage. Only allowed one shot so far in this second period is just the controlling dominance that we have seen from the Rapids offense to this point, and defense, you could say. As Rapids holding the puck in the offensive zone and defense not allowing Minnesota to breathe. 9 minutes to go, second period. Rapids still holding the lead. Puck comes up neutral ice. Williams, Welsh, Trebo. They're breaking into the zone. They have numbers. Going around the goal is Williams. Looking for a place to go with the pass. Still nailed up in the corner is Trebo with Williams. Williams chasing for the puck. Puck gets backhanded out where Boldick is there. Puck sent all the way back around where Trebo's there. Sends it out in front. Minnesota gets there before Rapids getting a stick on it. Minnesota now at neutral ice. Send the puck down as that was Finley Newman. Puck behind the goal of Rapids. Rapids comes away with it, sends it up neutral ice. Henham for Minnesota gets there. Allstrand and Henham going head to head. Allstrand clears it back out, and there could be numbers there, but Minnesota smartly gets the puck away. Bitnek sends the puck through, no one home. Yaksoy sends it back out neutral ice. Minnesota, just kind of a constant cycle of Rapids clearing the zone. Minnesota picking it up, neutral ice, and send it back down to Rapids. A little bit of a scrum just to the right side of the Minnesota bench as Yaksoy gets the puck up ahead. His teammate trailing, Allstrand. Shot right into the pads, and that was just inches away from squirting through the legs of Mattingly. That was close because that backhand was finding that hole there. So another whistle, 7:39 to go in the second period as Rapids just constantly applying the pressure for a 26-4 shot advantage to this point in the game. Face-off coming to the glove side of Mattingly, and Rapids controls it, sends the puck behind the goal. Yaksoy tries to send it out front. Rapids gets it, shot, sent up high, redirected, I believe, up into the netting, as that was a wide open net. Good defense, getting some angles on there and sending it out as there will be a face-off again. This time coming to the blocker side of Mattingly. 7.5 to go in the second period. In a game that Rapids is just really starting to constrict on. Face-off controlled by Rapids official, just holding his ground, trying to get out of the way. Behind the goal, Rapids has the puck, looking for a passing lane. Allstrand sends it around. These Stars and Stripes jerseys, it's a little hard to pick up the numbers at first, but doing the best that we can up here. And as Minnesota has the puck tied up in the corner. Several players battling for it. Korbenkov is one. And it appears Ruffalo is Doxo, is another one. Puck comes back around behind the goal, under 7 minutes to go in the second period. Rapids up 3-0 over the Mullets. Collision at open ice. Korneve was in there. No call. Clean play. Let him play on. This puck comes up neutral ice. Minnesota trying to catch Rapids at the line change. They cannot. As Casanelli, he gets a puck down deep into Rapid zone. 6.5 to go as Korneve sends it back out to the blue line. Ruffalo chips it up neutral ice. Minnesota just trying to find somewhere to go with the puck as Higgins bats it back out of the zone. And Rapids back on the move. Ilian backhands it through the slot. Nobody home. Ruffalo is there. Picks it up behind the goal. Backhand pass. Back pass to Diamond. Ruffalo behind the goal. Spins. Sends it back through behind the goal. Under 6 to go. Nelson with the puck at the inside the blue line. Rapids tried to send it through the slot. Nobody home. Minnesota sends it back out. Neutral ice. Where there was an individual error. Ian Wallace. Now Minnesota with the line change. Duke. Up ahead. Ilian. Then Diamond. Ruffalo. Diamond brings it in, skates to the slot, moving, gets the puck pushed away at the last second. So we got under 5.5 to go. Ilian, slot, shot to goal! Ilian gets the 4th goal, and Rapids is starting to pour it on. That was just all based on puck movement and good passing, and Ilian's able to get into the scoring column with the goal, and Rapids goes up 4-0. That was set up real well. So that was just right in the mid slot and beat Mattingly on the right side. And that's how you get your lead. Wait for the official scoring. 13th goal of the year. Mikhail Ilian.
He was assisted by number 8,
Noah Diamond with the assist.
Time of the goal, 14:42.
14:42, time of the goal. Is Minnesota trying to get the puck down deep. Under 5 minutes to go in this second period. Rapids up 4-0. Puck comes back out neutral ice as Minnesota has to regroup yet again. Williams blocks the puck. Welsh has it, sends it up to Trevo. Trying to get into the slot. Puck is loose. No, Welsh couldn't get a stick on it. That could have been point-blank shot there. But Buldick comes away with it, sends it, and it got intercepted by the Mullets, as that was Finley Newman. He could have had a 1-0 break, but was unable to hold on to the puck. Heath Jan, he sends it in, turned away by Shaw, as there's your second shot in the period by Minnesota. There will not be icing, as that just happened to hop the stick of Minnesota's Ethan Gressel. Puck comes back out neutral ice where Olivier Buldick will pick it up. He's skating up, breaks the zone himself, then gets ridden off the puck, sends the puck around the boards where Allstrand will get to it. And Korbenkov down, battling behind the goal with him. Under 4 minutes to go in the second period. Rapids up 4-0. As Minnesota's able to break out of the zone. Trying to get up. Player got tripped and fell on the puck, and now trying to get up. That was Chevy Alexander. Is going into the box is Ryan Grotman. That's, I believe, a trip. Or cross check, excuse me. So, Grotman in the box. Rapids with another power play. With 3:32 left to go in the period. 16:28. 16:28 time of the penalty for a cross check. And Rapids with their third power play of the period. They're 1 for 2 as a shot gets turned away by Mattingly. Now Minnesota clears it. Shaw plays it behind the goal, leaves it there. As Rapids organizes. Ruffalo, Ilian, passed up ahead. Not the world's best pass, got a little bit ahead of him. As Ruffalo gets the puck behind and leaves it for Ilian. Ilian to Yaksoy. Yaksoy going up the near side. Skates behind the goal. Comes out in front and gets a bit physicaled out of there as Rapids has to regroup again. Minnesota's forecheck picked up with some intensity here as there's about a minute left on the skater advantage. Rapids trying to get another opportunity at a goal. The Diamond with the puck gets up front. Ilian to Yaksoy. As Allstrand takes a big slap shot that gets stopped by Mattingly. Puck tied up in the corner. Comes back out as Allstrand with it. Walks into the circle. High slot. Shot in the goal. Rapids gets another power play. Yeah, it's tally. And it's starting to get out of hand. 5-0 Rapids over the Mullets. That was a great opportunity for Rapids as they were able to do a good job of stretching out that defense as walking into the slot, and that was just kind of a good way they split the defense, if anything, and that's when Allstrand made his way into the high slot, fired off a shot, and beat Mattingly on the right side. And that's been where he's been beat a couple times tonight as Rapids holds a 5-0 advantage over the Mullets. We'll wait for the official scoring. As Trebo comes through, crosses into the zone. 11th goal of the year. And second of the night is Allstrand.
He was assisted by number 8,
Diamond with his second assist.
Allstrand from Diamond, time of the power play goal, 17:49.
17:49, time of the goal. So
now in goal for Minnesota. 29, Parker Seeley.
Parker Seeley is now in goal as Minnesota made a goalie change. Making note of that on the old score sheet. Parker Seeley, and that was at 17:49 for the Mullets. There's another whistle. A lot of stoppage here in the last couple moments. Face-off coming up to the glove side of Seeley. Minnesota comes away with the puck. Under a minute and 45 seconds left. Loose puck in the high slot. Rapids trying to get something going, trying to attack Seeley. Seeley moving post to post, watching where the puck was behind his goal. Minnesota starting to get some possession of the puck. Under a minute and a half left to go in the second period. As they clear the puck up neutral ice. Welsh. Pass to Nelson. Williams sends a puck down deep. There will be an icing call against Rapids. 1:06 left to go in the period, where Rapids leads 5-0 over the Mullets. And there's officiating crew saying no line change for Minnesota. Get you guys back on the bench. Face-off coming to the Rapids zone, glove side of Deacon Shaw. It's Trebo in on it for the Riverkings. Watruba for the Mullets. Puck sent through the opposite circle as we're 1 minute away from the conclusion of the second period. Watruba has the puck. Puck gets sent back. There will be no icing. Under 50 seconds to go in the period. Rapids trying to pin the puck back down deep. Now it's up to neutral ice. Murphy brings it up for the Mullets. Chip down to the behind the Rapids goal. 30 seconds to go in the frame. Rapids up 5-0 in the waning moments of the second period. 3 goals in this frame as Dressel can't hold the zone. 20 seconds to go as Rapids trying to hold this off until the horn. Boldick clears the zone. Minnesota has to regroup with 6 seconds to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And there is your horn. And Rapids holds a very strong 5-0 lead over the Mullets after 40 minutes of play. We're back here at the Southwood County Recreation Center, going into the third period of this USPHL Premier Level North Division contest as the Wisconsin Rapids Riverkings taking care of business. 5-0 lead over the Minnesota Mullets. Second period, 3 goals, 2 on the power play. Noah Diamond at 5:57, Kale Ilian at 14:42, and second goal of the game, Felix Allstrand at 17:49. That's how you got to that 5-0 lead, aside from the 2 goals in the first period. Deacon Shaw, 5 for 5 on shots faced and saves. Minnesota made a change. Hudson Mattingly made 25 saves in the contest. He was pulled after that 5th goal at 17:49, and Parker Seeley in the pipes as he will be taking over more than likely the rest of the game. Flanked up here by Colin Ryan. Colin, that first period featured a lot of penalties by Rapids, which they got out of that unscathed. Man, their power play unit was on fire, going 2 for 3 in that third period. Just talk about how Rapids is able to clean up the play and make the Mullets pay for their transgressions.
Yeah, no, once you stay out of the box and, you know, obviously the other team takes penalties and you have the man advantage, better opportunities of scoring, and we can see that's what happened.
As I know you're not a goalie, and I know Deacon is a very accomplished goalie in his own right, but not facing that many shots. I mean, I know he's a good hockey player, but sometimes it's kind of hard to keep your mind in it if you're just kind of standing there watching a game. Talk about how and I know you've been in the spots too. How do you keep focused when it's just kind of been one-sided?
Keep focused. You just got to stay on your own game and play how you know how to play, and not let any little things disrupt that.
And then, of course, Minnesota having a hard time getting things going as puck drop is just done at mid-ice. If you're Minnesota, what do you got to do? I mean, there's a lot of time left, but you're down 5-0.
If you're Minnesota, you just got to get the puck out fast and just go for those fast breaks. That's really only option you have.
As Minnesota drives the puck down back of the Rapid zone, Minnesota going from my right to the left in this final period of play, and Rapids going from my left to the right. Again, Minnesota wearing their mustard sweaters and socks with maroon greasers, and Rapids wearing the stars and stripes on Military Appreciation Weekend. Gail Ilian battling on the far side, tried to drop a pass down. Noah Diamond behind the goal. No avail. His high stick is going to be called. Now puck's tied up on the far side. Chevier Alexander. Minnesota does pull it out of there as Rapids gets numbers back there. Keeps the puck at neutral ice. Minute gone by in this period. Still 5-0. Rapids over the Mullets. Puck goes up, hits the beams, and falls back to the ice as we had a stoppage now. 18:52 remaining in this one. A lot of other games going on tonight. As we're going to take a quick look at the scoreboard in a moment after we get our next break of play. As face-off at neutral ice, Rapids comes away with it. Nelson to Duke. And there will be an icing against the Riverkings as Rapids again leading 5-0 over the Mullets. Ooh, we got a good one. Third period in Hudson. Hudson trailing the Express 4-3. So that's Hudson. They're sneaky good there. The Steele County Blades trailing the Squatch 3-1. That's in the third period. And the Blue Ox taking care of business over the Outlaws 8-1. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate that. So a couple scores to keep an eye on there. Steele County hanging with the Squatch. That's one Rapids would like to see go Steele County's way, looking at the standings, I should say. And then the Express, they're in a battle with Hudson. As Hudson vastly improved from last year, as Rapids controls a face-off from their own end. Korbenkov brings puck into the zone. Puck bouncing. Yaksoy. Lucky he didn't get a hand pass on that as he takes shot in the goal. I don't think Seeley ever saw it. Just a haphazard shot from inside the blue line, high slot, and it goes in. You hear the thud of the padding in the goal, and that is just a bad break for Minnesota. He waving his hand over his face to Seeley, saying, "I never saw it." But that's not exactly a position where you're gonna see too many shots. And it got knocked through, and boy, it's getting rough here for the Mullets just on night one. A minute 40 into the period. As that is a 6-0 lead for the Riverkings, as things getting a little out of hand here. As they wait for the official scoring. Number 16, Riley Duke getting tabbed with that as he probably deflected it. As Yaksoy.
I'm being told there's a voice in my ears saying it should go. The goal goes to Yaksoy.
The goal's
sixth goal of the year
for Yaksoy. So they changed that again. I thought it was Yaksoy. Yaksoy unassisted.
We'll get back to you soon, kid.
As Rapids now being whistled for a check from behind. Can't see the number on that. Oh, that was Lucas Nelson.
Wisconsin Rapids penalty.
Checked it from behind for Nelson. So power play here for Minnesota.
2-minute minor for check from behind.
So just a 2-minute minor. That could be a dangerous one. 2:02 time of the penalties. So Minnesota back on the power play. They are 0 for 3 in the game. As Williams breaks through, trying to eat up time. Got a half-hearted shot in, just a little bit wide, as 30 seconds has gone by on the skater advantage for the Mullets. 17-18 remaining as Allstrand intercepts the pass. Rapid just eating up time. Allstrand, Chevy Alexander, Bolduc, Chevy Alexander, and now all the way down. As Diamond trying to get there first, he pulls up with a minute left on the skater advantage. 17 minutes left to go in this one. Rapids up 6-0 over the Mullets. And there you go. There's a poke check away as Diamond's trying to race for it. And Diamond gets there. Skates behind the goal. Trying to see what he can do with it. He comes back up out of the zone, trying to eat up time. Rapids penalty kill doing an outstanding job in this one. As there's just 37 seconds to go in the skater advantage for the Mullets. Now the Mullets come up with the puck. As Rapids trying to eat up time. 30 seconds to go in the skater advantage. 16.5 to go in the contest as Rapids now ices it. As they're killing the penalty, there will be no icing called, as there will probably be about one more opportunity for the Mullets on this skater advantage. Rapids up 6-0. As Rapids really hounding down low by Yaksoy. Yaksoy, Ilian, puck at neutral ice. And there's 1 second left, and there's your PK. As Rapids able to kill it. And teams are back at even strength. Puck bouncing around dangerously for Minnesota as they're able to chip it up neutral ice. As Korniev was able to get a nice little hit at mid-ice. Ilian trying to hit his teammates in stride. Human sends it around, turned away by Shaw. First shot of the period for the Mullets. Higgins, Trebo, Ruffalo, shot right in the gloves of Seeley, and that's a whistle. 15-20 left to go in this one. 6-0, Rapids advantage. 33-7 shot advantage. That's kind of what we've grown accustomed to watching throughout most of the season. As Rapids just kind of controlling just pace of play. His face-off coming to the blocker side of Seeley. Rapids controls it. Trebo tied up behind the goal. Puck's being battled all over behind there. As puck comes back out, Higgins holds it, sends it back through. Right in front of the beer garden. A little bit of light crowd in there. It's a Friday night. Get your fish fries in. As puck comes back out neutral ice, Rapids holds it. And it's touched up by Welsh and it's sent in behind the goal. Puck comes back out of there. Minnesota now with it, trying to get something started here. And there will be an icing, and there you have it. There's the icing. 14:40 to go in regulation. Rapids still up 6-0. Thanks for joining us here in Wisconsin Rapids Community Media, Black Bear TV, and 105.5 FM WRI, where Seth Habiger's working the board. Doing an awesome job, as he always does, but all of our sound engineers do a great job over there. His face off to the blocker side of Seeley. Rapids comes up with it. Centering, shot right into the chest of Seeley from Boldick. And he falls on it and covers it. Another whistle. 14:33 remaining in this one. Still 6-0. Other than taking all the penalties, Colin, got to be pretty happy with the way you've responded when you've had that adversity.
For sure.
Face off to the glove side of Seeley. Battling on the near side. Big strum of players. Zalstrand trying to send it back down. Cleared out of the zone. Chevy Alexander picks it up, sends it across to Bullock. Nice drop pass there. But Minnesota comes away with it with 14 minutes to go. Bouncing puck sent in. Rapids comes up with it. Back up. Korbenkov was in there. Kutzer picks it up. And his end sends it back down. Chevy Alexander can't quite get to it, but he catches up. Rapids sends it up. Allstrand up to Korbenkov. In the zone is Rapids. Nice pass. Sharp angled shot. Tried to chip it in, was Ilian. He could not do it. That was close. Excuse me, Yaksoy. It's hard to see that number on the sleeves with the blue numbers on the blue sleeves. It's tough to see. It's tied up behind the goal. 13.5, under 13.5 to go. Rapids and the Mullets here in first game of the two-game series. Game 3 of 4 on the season between the two. Rapids controlling things in the first two meetings and looking to control her again. As Rapids doing a good job holding the zone. Allstrand tied up in the corner by the official's door. Korbenkov tried to play the body, and he did. His puck gets sent out, and there will be an icing called, and there you have it. 12:52 remaining in the frame, in the game. Rapids still up 6-0. Got a couple weeks here where it's a little light on sports on 105.5 FM WRI, but we'll be coming away with more games. We'll have one the Thursday night before open weekend of deer season coming up. Wisconsin Rapids girls against Toma. That'll be a fun one to start the game with, or start the season with. Then the next week we got the Cranberry Classic, 41st annual. A lot of good ball to be played there in Nakusa Neelsville, Wisconsin Rapids Assumption against Columbus Catholic. And that's a few weeks away. As we got Riverkings to worry about first. As face-off is controlled by Minnesota. Higgins does regroup for Rapids up to Ilian. Chips up ahead to Diamond. And he can't hold on to the puck. Minnesota recovers. 12.5 to go in this one as Ruffalo picks the pocket. Tries to skate in low. Gets it pushed away. Right on the doorstep was Ilian in the slot. He couldn't slam it home. Defense got in the way. These Rapids still battling down low, trying to add some more on. Ilian stops. Please, a hit. Man, that was a good hard hit against Ian Wallace. And now Ilian, he busted up his stick. He's got to go to the bench as there's a whistle. blade popped right off of Ilian's stick, so got to go get some new lumber. If you want to call lumber, back in the day it would have been. No, fiberglass. Pieces all over. As there's a face-off coming in the Minnesota zone. 12:07 to go. He got hit hard at neutral ice, but then he came and returned the favor. Sometimes you got to do that in this game. It's Riley Williams going up against Will Mitnick. It was controlled by Minnesota, killed out of the zone, but Rapids comes away with it. 12 minutes to go in this one, 6-0 lead. Rapids over the Mullets. Good hit in front of the extended part of the beer garden. Puck behind the net. Minnesota trying to come away with it. Duke holds his own. Duke sends it back around the boards. Williams coming up for it. Williams, drop pass, down low, sent around the boards by Trebo. Trebo and Welsh in the corner. A couple of Minnesota players in the scrum too. Squirts out of there. Duke, shot from the point. That gets steered just wide by Seeley. Puck comes back in to Rapids. Nelson fires from the point. Redirect, and that's just wide. As that was a close opportunity there from Williams. Shot, send in. Bounces up, and it's covered by Seeley. 11-12 remaining in this one. 6-0 Rapids advantage, as there will be a face-off coming to the blocker side of Seeley. It'll be interesting to see what Minnesota does tomorrow night between the pipes. I guess that's a problem we'll worry about tomorrow night, as they went to a different goalie at the tail end of the second period. Puck bouncing around. Rapids has possession of it. Look for somewhere to go. Minnesota doing a good job clogging those passing lanes. Yuck, so he can't get the hold on. Shot right in the mask of Seeley. That's a good wake-up call. Shot from Boldick. High slot. That gets steered up wide off the pads of Seeley. Minnesota trying to get a rush going. Munson was unable to hold up. Gets the puck poked away. Korbenkikov. Pass right in, right on the doorstep. Shot and a goal! Doing a little 6-7 celebration. And the Riverkings go from 6-7. Big lead over Minnesota. As that goal came at 9:27, as Korbenkikov is able to pass it alongside. He gets it back in the circle. Nice centering, and on the doorstep, there's your shot in the goal. And there you have it, 7-0 Wisconsin Rapids over the Mullets. Halfway through on this third period. We'll get the official scoring here in a minute.
Scoring his third of the year.
Chevy Alexander. It's a shot in and covered up by Seeley from Ilian.
Number 17, Danilo
Korbenkov.
And
And Allstrand on the assist.
Chevy Alexander from Korbenkov and Allstrand.
At 9:27. The Rapids in commanding lead here. Shot just wide of the near post. Rapids really controlling play now as we're in the final half of the final period. Just trying to get through this one. Both sides healthy and clean. As the puck slides behind the goal. Minnesota trying to regroup here. And a good hard hit right in front of the Minnesota penalty box. No penalty is called, and that's a correct way to do it. Ilian skates in. Drop pass to Higgins. Shot. That got stopped by the defense. Good play by the defense of Minnesota there. Stop it before it got into Seeley. Ilian to Diamond. Near side. Hard hit. Ilian delivered that one as Higgins took a shot up into the net. And a whistle. 9:28 to go in regulation. Rapids up 7-0. A lot of good play tonight for Wisconsin Rapids. A lot of different names in there, but a lot of familiar ones as well, doing the damage as we've seen them do. If you look through the box scores throughout the season, a lot of familiar names. And the thing is, you stop one, another one's just stepping up into the role, and that's one thing we've seen to this part of the season, almost nearing the halfway point. If you look at the total number of games, Minnesota comes away with the puck after a face-off to the glove side of Seeley. About 9 minutes remaining, 9:10 exactly, as Welsh chips it down to the slot for Trabo. Trying to hack at it from Williams, as Wallace can't hold on to it for Minnesota. He was looking to get beyond the defense. Hard hit right at the Rapids penalty box, and there is a whistle, as there's some pushing and shoving going on. There's couple Rapids players and Minnesota players getting into it. A lot of words being exchanged, as we're going to see how this all gets laid out here. I think there will be one against the Rapids, and there is. Again, I think that's for Nelson. Either way, the time of that penalty came at 11:05. Has officiating crew talking it out, seeing what all is being called, and if it's just going to be on Rapids or not. Don't want to see Rapids go into it. Don't want to see Rapids go into a 5-on-3, have to kill that if you're a Rapids fan. But that's a good way to get on the board if you're a Minnesota fan, if you do have to deal with that. Officiating crew talking this out. They're going to go with a 5-minute, by the way it looked, by the Minnesota player holding the hand up with 5, so we'll see. We'll see what the exact call will be, as Noah Diamond is in there. And they're sending Lucas Nelson off the ice. As Tolentino goes in the box, served penalty. Our good buddy Julian Tolentino, he's been up here on the microphone a couple times. He's serving the penalty. We'll see what the exact call is. Either way, Rapids is on the penalty kill. Minnesota on the power play. We'll wait for the official scoring. It's a 5-minute penalty against Nelson. So we'll wait for the exact ruling. Face-off going to be to the blocker side of Deacon Shaw.
Number 4, Lucas Nelson. 5-minute major for checking conduct plus game misconduct. 5-minute major game misconduct to Wisconsin Rapids. Number 4 for checking from behind and a game misconduct.
So it's 5-minute.
Will be served by number 25, Julian Tolentino.
So it's a check-in from behind penalty against Lucas Nelson. 5-minute penalty and a game misconduct. So Rapids going to have to kill 5 minutes here. With 8.5 to go, leading 7-0. So good remainder of this contest. Rapids will be killing a power play. As with that 5-minute, if Minnesota scores, they still retain that power play. It's not like a normal one where it cancels out. As Diamond, nice pass behind the back, shot and a goal, Ostrand, and there is your shorthanded goal, as that was beautifully designed, beautifully executed. Rapids rolling 8-0. Off the crossbar and in. You couldn't have designed that any better. Bad turnover from Seeley at the blue line to Diamond. He skates in and the circle. Nice pass behind him. Shot over the glove. And there you have it. That is goal number 8. Rapids rolling here. 11:45 time of the goal. Can't ask for a much better executed play than that. Is that a play that you guys practice a lot, Colin? Is that set up or
No,
good improv?
That just happened. That was not a set play.
That was beautifully done either way. So shorthanded goal. 12th goal of the year and 3rd of the game. Hat trick for Allstrand. And assist from Diamond. Allstrand from Diamond. Time of that shorthanded goal was 11:45, and Rapids continuing to pressure. With the goal differential of 8 or greater, we are in running time now the rest of the game. That is a new rule for this year. There will only be stoppage for goals and injury. So that's first time we've seen that here on the home ice this year. I think that's a good rule. Just get the guys out of here, save potential of injury, and live to play, not fight, live to play another day. 7:10 left to go. I know they have that rule in high school, and that's a good rule there. So kind of glad that they do that to save on the bodies of these guys. It's a long season. As Minnesota holding his own shot. Big glove save by Shaw as Murphy kind of looks at the ice in frustration as we're under 7 minutes remaining in this one. Rapids up 8-0 over the Mullets. And they'll go for the sweep tomorrow night. Same time, 7 p.m. here on 105.5 FM WIRI, Wisconsin Rapids Community Media, and Black Bear TV. I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Zaksoy brings the puck up into the zone. Bolda can't hold the zone. Rapids has to get back on sides. There's Murphy giving chase behind the goal. Drexel in there as well. Pass up ahead. Minnesota breaking out into neutral ice. Rapids there, does pick up the loose puck and flings her right on down. Excuse me. As 6 minutes remain in this and just about 2 minutes remain in the 5-minute power play. Shot sent in, turned away by Shaw. That's just 9 shots on goal tonight. Shaw's been up to the task on all 9 of them. Puck sent in from behind the goal, and that's just gloved by Shaw as we're under 2 minutes remaining in this power play for the Mullets, and 5.5 to go in this one. As the game speeding along now with that mercy rule put into play. Congratulations, your $330, Richard. Puck sent out neutral ice after that face-off to the blocker side of Shaw. Minnesota chasing her down with $1:10 left to go on the power play. 5 minutes left to go in the game. Rapids comfortably ahead, 8-0. Probably just playing this out. Is Minnesota still playing hard? They don't want to be shut out, so we'll see what they can do. Shot sent in, Shaw's there. Rapids picks up the puck. Skating around the defense is Chevy Alexander as he gets held up on that, and there will be a whistle for interference or a hold coming up in Minnesota. So we'll see what Rapids has up their sleeves for their power play that they're going to have, because it's going to be 4-on-4 for 36 seconds, and that is a hold being called. 15:28 time of the penalty. Number 6 being Finley Newman. Wonder if that's a moment where coaching staff says, Newman. Maybe. You have to make the Seinfeld reference. My apologies on that, but you gotta have fun with it. Face-off coming, 4-on-4 hockey. Minnesota and Wisconsin Rapids. Rapids up 8-0 as they got the A penalty on the wrong guy, on the wrong team here. Yeah, the official saying you got to flip that around. It's going to be 4-on-4 for 36 seconds. Then Rapids gets another power play. Again, the clock stops on a goal and on a penalty, or an injury for that matter. Yes. They get it all sorted out now. 36 seconds remaining on the 5-minute major game misconduct to Lucas Nelson. His face-off controlled by Rapids on this 4-on-4 stretch. Gorbenkov can't hold on to it. The puck gets sent down for an icing. Clock still rolls. 20 seconds left on 4-on-4. 4:15 left to go in the game. Rapids up comfortably 8-0. Out shooting Mullets 44-10. As that's just a comfortable night at the office for the Riverkings. Ruffalo in for the face-off against Jacob Lawrence. Controlled by Rapids. Gorbenkov, no, quick trigger on that, just wide of the goal. So Minnesota looking to ice it. They can't hold on to it as Ruffalo's coming up, trying to get some pressure on him. As By comes up, Rapids trying to get possession of the puck, and they do. Williams gets around defenseman, trying to get to the puck that he chipped up ahead. 3.5 to go in this one. Williams behind the goal. Looking at Ruffalo out in front of him. Ruffalo has it at the blue line, back down to Williams. Ruffalo at the circle. Stop, spin, come back out. Cross ice pass, Gorbenkov. Skating, near side. Ruffalo, slot. Loose puck, and it's picked up by Minnesota with 36 seconds left to go on the power play for Rapids. 3 minutes left to go in the game. Rapids enjoying a 8-0 advantage. Bringing it up is Gorbenkov. Getting around the defense and slides in on Seeley, and he covers it. 2:45 to go, clock ticking. There will be a face-off coming to the glove side of Seeley, as there will be the end of that power play for Rapids. Decent night on the power play, 2 goals, and special teams huge, just 2 goals and 1 shorthanded on the night. There's 2.5 to go. Both teams at full strength. Diamond against Bitnick. Puck comes loose. Bolduc holds it in at the line. Allstrand, top of the circles. Daksoy shot just over the crossbar. He gets his own rebound. Sends it down to Ilian. Ilian back down to Diamond. Diamond behind the goal. Can't get enough on that pass. It's picked up at the circle. Under 2 minutes to go. Keith Jan brings it up into the zone. And Rapids comes away with it up to neutral ice. There's Diamond, head of steam, coming up. Bolduc chips it back to Diamond, centering. Loose puck in the crease, and it gets shifted wide by Jan. Held in at the blue line. Rapids, Bolduc, high slot, skates in, shot right into the belly of Seeley. 1.5 to go. As Rapids controlling this one. 8-0, not much more to do other than the final moments of this one. We'll come back tomorrow with Game 2 and the regular season finale between these teams. We'll see how everything ends up through the year. We might see them again in the playoffs. Who knows? That's a long ways from now, however. November to March. There's a minute to go. Right now, a shot, and that gets turned away by the defense. Off the faceoff was Welsh. 57 seconds to go. Rapids up 8-0. We're just gonna. As Minnesota breaks into the zone, still playing hard, still trying to get on the board. You can't fault him for that as Welsh picks up the puck, pass up ahead to Williams. Williams shot, that gets turned away by Seeley. 35 seconds left to go in this one. As Minnesota picks up the puck, skates behind the goal. Trebo, who's battling down in that. Korniev out there as well. 23 seconds left to go. Some pushing and shoving. trying to gain position as both teams battled in the corner in front of the beer garden. Whistle trying to clean that up with 13 seconds to go, and that'll be about it. That'll probably do her. 9, 8, 7, and 6. And the official picks up the puck. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And that's a Wisconsin Rapids River King winner with the shutout, 8-0 over the Minnesota Mullets in game 1 of this 2-game stand.